Thank you. All right, so thank you very much once again for the privilege of being called to take this. I'm sorry I couldn't make it last week as I had so many things on my table, and it was quite tough combining them. I mean, right now it's really a privilege to be here. Let me put it that way. It's challenging, but I have to take on that privilege and do what we need to do. Thank you so very much. I appreciate the privilege and the honor that you have given to me in asking me to come and speak. And I'm going to be sharing very briefly. It may not be long, but whether it is long or short, I just hope that we'll be able to add value. Let me start by, because I know there may be one or two people here who don't know me, let me just say a couple of things. My name is Bisi Akande. I am called the Inspirer, and I always say that I just want to add value because that's what I do. My life is about adding value to people who want to add value and make a difference in their world. So that's what I do. I add value to people who want to add value to the world, add value to themselves, and also change the world that they live in. I'm called the Inspirer. I'm married to one female wife. I need to emphasize that, and I'm blessed to have some children. And I'm a Maxwell certified leadership speaker, trainer, and coach. I stay in the place of personal development, communication, and leadership. That's the area that I love to cover. Of course, I'm a pastor with the Redeemed Christian Church of God. I love my church. I love where God has planted me. So I'm going to take some time to share with us on wealth systems. And by the way, I'm privileged to have written a book alongside my friend Eboluwa Olufemi, who is also a pastor, on this same topic. It's called Wealth System. So you can engage that book. You can pick a copy from that book. And because you are here for today, I'm going to make it at a crashed table price. In case anybody wants to pick it, connect with me at the redemption camp. You would get a copy for 500 naira. That's the cheapest that anybody can get a book from what I know. So you can pick a copy from me from my office. I will send a contact person to our leader here, and they'll share with us so that you can reach them and get a copy for yourself. We're going to be talking about wealth system, and I'm going to be sharing maybe by 5 or 7, depending, 5 or 7 tips on how you can create a system. Now, I need you to understand that one of the big benefits, one of the big blessings of life is the ability to create a system. The ability to carve out a system. See, systems are very, very critical. Systems are very important. Systems are very, very helpful in getting the things that we want to get done. For example, in your body, there are systems that are working. One of the systems is what you call the respiratory system. There's another system that's called the digestive system. There's this excretory system. There's a system in place for digestion. And the digestive system allows you to put food in your mouth. And when it gets into your mouth, then it goes in and gets digested and gets ingested. It works. You don't have to pray for it. You don't have to get to work it. It's just a system. And because the system is working, things go easy. Things are working easy because the system is working. In the same way, when you look at God, God created the heaven and the earth, and God rested. Why? The reason God is able to rest is because God created a system. There's a system that ensures that the water that you and I utilize gets to the river. From the river, it gets to the bigger rivers. From the bigger rivers, it gets to the sea. From the sea to the ocean. And then the sun beats it, it evaporates, gets to the sky, forms clouds. When these clouds are heavy, the wind moves them back to the land. They fall as rain on the land, and then we have water. So because the system is working, we don't have to be working. We don't have to wake up in the morning and really go into fast prayer for the rain to fall. So when the system is working, things work. Systems are very important. That's why we wrote that book, Wealth System, because we felt that when you have a system in place, a system that can generate income, it just generates income by its own self. So the system is very important. Now, let me talk about this key points, or some of the system that, some of the key points of the system that we believe will be able to generate wealth automatically. Now, let me start by saying that, wealth is not scarce. A lot of times people talk about wealth being scarce, but wealth is not scarce. I know in economics they say that resources are scarce, but when you look around, you discover that the earth is actually full. It has a lot of resources. There's so much on the earth that you and I have never been able to touch, that we have not been able to actually reach. We've not touched it. When you look at the ocean, the vastness of the ocean, look at how much of the land that is available that has been utilized, as it were. Look at so much that is here that we have not touched. Look at what God has embedded in the ground that we've never been able to touch. There's so much. So we have to develop, first of all, that abundance mindset. That's the mindset that says there is more. And also the mindset that says that it doesn't matter what the other person gets, I still can get my own. It's not you can't stop me from getting my own, and I can't stop you from getting your own, because there's more for everybody. There's more. So the only thing that can stop you from working this system is when you refuse to develop that abundance mindset. We all need to develop the mindset that tells us that there is enough for everyone. There is enough. There is more than enough for everyone. So we need to develop that mindset that there is enough for everyone. There is more than enough for us on the face of the earth if we are ready to engage. So the first thing that I want to share with you that I believe can help you to create this wealth system for yourself is that you need to understand your true source, or the true source. In fact, let me just put it that way. You need to understand the true source, not just your true source, but the true source. You see, the source is very important. Your source is where your resources are going to come from. When you talk about resource, a resource is actually a place where you resource something. In other words, you go to the source to get the resource. It's the resource that determines how much source can come to you. So you've got to establish for yourself what is the true source. Somebody said your financial harvest comes through people, not from people. So we've got to be able to understand that people are not the real source for whatever it is that we want in life. A lot of times we make the mistake of looking at people or looking to people for the things that we want in life, but people are not the source. People can become channels through which these things come to us, but people are not the source. Again, I would like to say to you that your job is not the source, or your business is not the source. Those are also channels that are used in bringing those things to you. It's not the source. So you've got to understand that there's no, the real source is the originator of the universe. We call him God, the grand overall designer, the grand overall designer. That's who he is. The one who made everything has made it in such a way that there's more than enough for everyone. There's more than enough available for each one of us, whatever it is that we want to do. In fact, I know that there are places, because I know some of us probably might not be of the Christian lineage, but that's where I belong. So please permit me. I'm not trying to share my faith now, but what I've read, I can just share with you. That I know that he is the one who gives power for men to create wealth. Wealth is created. Wealth is not received. Wealth is not brought to you. Wealth is not inherited. Riches can be inherited, but wealth is not inherited. Real wealth is created. Men create it. They create it because the source gives them the power to create it. So there are certain things that by that power that you receive, you create something, and that thing begins to generate wealth. And you see in life for you. Please, thank you. Let's please try to manage our end and mute so that there will not be distractions as we move along. Thank you very much. So the power to create wealth is given to us by the source. See, our nation is not the source. So even if the economy of the nation is not really working, that's not your source. Because the engine of the economy of the nation is being managed by some. Men have the potential to fail. So it doesn't matter. The people that are managing the economy, they can fail. They can make a mistake. They can mismanage the economy. And the truth is that where we are as a nation today is a function of the fact that certain persons have mismanaged or are mismanaging the economy. That's why we are where we are. That can happen. But that they mismanage the economy should not mismanage your personal economy. Your resource is not, your resources do not come from your country or your place of residence. It doesn't come from the work you do. And when you look at life, you will discover that some people do the same job, and yet some get blessed in that job while some are not getting blessed. Some people are prospering as bricklayers, while some people are sweating as bricklayers. Some people are prospering as doctors, while some people are not yet doctoring anything, even in being doctors. Some people are pastors, and they are doing well financially for themselves, but there are people who are pastors and yet they are not getting it for themselves. There are people who are imams who are not getting it, and there's some imams who are getting it. So it's not necessarily what you are doing, it's about your source. That begins with that mindset that, look, there is a source that is beyond what I see. So you've got to understand, number one is your source. So what do? You've got to be able to connect with the true source. Focus your total dependence on the true source, knowing that he's the one that provides, he's the one that meets every need. He's the one that gives you power to create wealth. You've got to be looking to him, not to any other thing. See, the mistake that we make is that when we begin to look to all these things, when we begin to look to all these other sources, all these other people, or people, government, economy, business, when we look at all these things, we bring ourselves down to that level, so we miss out on what it's supposed to be for us. Our true source is the originator of the universe, who is also the originator of us. Now, let me say this here. You need to also understand that everything that was created can only be sustained by the source that created it. Fish was created from water. That's why fish needs water to survive. In the same way, the plants came from the earth. So the earth needs the plant to survive. Take away any tree, no matter how big, from the ground. After some time, it will die. We were created. Our true source is God, the grand overall designer. And because it's our true source, our resources can only and truly come from him and him alone. So that's the first thing that I'd like you to put in your mind. Put it at the back of your mind that you need to connect to that true source. It's very important that you do that. Now, the wealth system number 2 that I want to share with you is, if you want to generate wealth, then you must be a problem solver. You must be someone who is providing solutions to the issues of life that we see. You must be able to draw from the source based on the needs that you see around you. You see, you are paid in life not because you went to work. No, you are paid in life not because of the job that you do. You are actually paid in life because of the solutions that you are providing, the problems that you are solving. The amount of money you can earn in life will be a
All right, I think Pastor Bisi network has logged him out. Please let's wait for him to rejoin.
Sorry, I'm sorry, internet cut us off. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, we can. You're welcome,
I
sir.
hope we are making progress. I'm so sorry. Internet. All right. So as I was saying, I was talking about the fact that we need to solve problems, and I said that what we are paid is a function of the value that people place on what contributions we are making in their life, in their work. That's very critical. See, everyone who is a laborer is worthy of his wages. So, but that means that there is a labor, there is a work there. So when you see high income earners, what you are seeing is you have seen high problem solvers. High income earners are high problem solvers. The life we pay you to the to the magnitude or to the degree that they feel that you are helping them to solve their personal problems or helping them to solve their organizational problems. That's what they pay you. So your financial rewards in life will be tied to the quality and the quantity of the problems you are able to solve. So life is not about problems. So what do? Look for needs. Look around you. There are so many needs around you. So many. For example, you see one of the biggest needs today around us here in Nigeria is the problem of data and internet. It's a major problem. A lot of times we are just having this conversation now and then it just cuts us off. If you go to advanced country, it never cuts off. They just run, So that's the major need. So we look for a need and you solve that need. People will galvanize in your direction. Every vulcanizer is solving a tire problem. That's why he stays on the road. And if you don't have a tire problems, you don't go to him. You only go to him because you have a tire problem. And when there's a tire problem, it becomes a needed function. So how can you look for something that will be needed by more people in your space? How can you look for, what can you find that will become a problem? And what problem can you find around you that will become a great need? One of it, look around you, you discover people, the more the population grows, the more people need food. So food is a major thing, is a major. So that's a problem. Anybody who can solve that problem will have a business going for him on a regular basis. Business is called a going concern. You will see the business going. Why? Because that's a need that never stops. People will always wear clothes. It's a need that will not stop. So you've got to be able to say, okay, I see a problem here. Let me solve the problem. Whatever it is that is a problem that you see, transportation is a problem. People need to move from one place to the other. Some don't have a car. And there are several dimensions of transportation. It could be you selling the car. It could be you taking the car, moving people from one place to the other. But it's a problem, and you need to solve the problem. People need to build houses. If they are building houses, they require certain things to build their houses. That's a problem. Solve the problem. So can you look around you? And let me just stop here and just give you a little assignment. Look around you right now and find out, are there 5 problems that you can see right now around you? I'll give you 30 seconds to do that. And there are 5 problems. What 5 problems can you see around you right now? Say, okay, I see these 5 problems. And I'm not asking you to solve them. I'm just saying, can you just think around you, think about your friends? What do they go through? What are they told you? What are people sharing to you? What are they talking to you about? And then you say, okay, these are 5 problems that I can see around me. If you are listening to me, let me give you 30 seconds and let me see if you can just write that out for yourself. If you want to chat, you can chat, no problem. But if you can write it out for yourself, you write it down. You never can tell. In writing this, you might actually be opening the door either for you or for someone else. But what problem do you see around you? Let's chat. What problem do you see around you? If you want to chat, please go ahead and just chat us on that. Chat to everyone, not just to me alone. And let's see. What problem do you see around you right now that requires solving? What problem do you see in the Nigerian space for those of us who are in Nigeria? What problem do you see in the African space for those of us who are in Africa? What problem do you see in the world space? And you don't have to be in Nigeria. If you see the problem, you can actually bring yourself here or import the solution or export the solution, whichever way it works. You can import the solution, you can export the solution. What 5 problems, for example? And I want you to think, don't tell me you don't know, because I don't know is a way to escape your thinking. Don't tell me I don't know. Think about it. There must be some problems that you see around you. Somebody is saying, I see food, I see clothing, good accommodation, education. Fantastic. You can see that. Accommodation, it comes in several means. People need a place to stay. People need a place of their own that they can say, okay, this is my house. Fantastic. Any other person, I can see only 2 chats. Any other person chatting, there are about 30 of us here. So I'll be glad to see more chats. Food, fantastic. I don't know what you are seeing. What are you seeing? Somebody has seen 3. Some of us have seen only 1. Recreational center, fantastic, Tosin. That's great. That's great. And you are so right. Look around you. Problem of validation of property for people. Correct. That's another problem. That's another problem. Somebody wants to buy a house from the US. He sent it to his brother. The brother finished the money. How can we solve that? Electricity, good problem. Security, it's a problem. We can bring provision there. We can process food. Exactly. Somebody has produced the food in the farm. Somebody needs to process it. Event center, good one, because people want to have parties and they don't need to block our roads. Before now, we used to block the road. Lack of social amenities. Great. Insecurity, that's a problem that needs a solution. Full transition housing. ICT, that's another area, but ICT is very wide. So look at it. I didn't get you.
Is this funny?
Okay, somebody else has unmuted. So please mute yourself so that you can help us. Okay, so that's quite a lot that we have talked about, but these are problems. Now, if you have identified these problems, you have identified these needs. Somebody said subscription for GoTV, fantastic, and that is true. GoTV subscription can be a problem as well as DSTV subscription, because I have wondered, why must I subscribe for a month if I'm not going to be around? Can't I do it on the go? Somebody might need to be thinking, and I say, guys, can we create a system that allows me to do it on the go? Pay as you go DSTV, pay as you go GoTV. I don't need it for more than 2 days. So I pay for 2 days and I switch. That's a problem that could be solved. Now that you have been able to identify this, and I don't know why you are identifying this one that I've identified, can I do something about it? That's very critical. See, lawyers are paid for solving legal problems. Secretaries are paid for helping their bosses solve their problems. A preacher is paid for solving spiritual problems, as it were. A doctor is paid for solving medical problems. You will be paid. If you need money, you will be paid for the problem that you are. Thank you very much. So there are 3 things that will determine how you are promoted, or the proportion of wealth that you get in life. 3 things. And I want you to take note of this. Number 1 is the work you do, the value you bring to the table. Number 2, how well you do what you do, how well you solve the problem. Number 3, the difficulty of replacing you. If they find
please mute your mic, everyone. Please mute your mic.
I think the man has muted now. If they find it easy to replace you, then they will stop paying you. So whatever you are doing, make sure that it is difficult to replace you. Make yourself difficult to replace by doing a high quality of job. It's not enough to just find the problem to solve. Solve it in a way that they will not be able to replace you. In other words, get the skills, get the knowledge, get mastery of whatever it is that you are doing. Get training, develop yourself, get soft skills, hard skills, whatever skill you need to do what you need to do. Get them so that you can do it in a way that it will be difficult to replace you. I said 3 things. Number 1 is the work you do. Number 2 is how well you do that work. And number 3, the difficulty of replacing you. That's the second point that I want to share. The first point is understanding the true source. And the second point I said is become a problem solver. That's very important. Become a problem solver. Now, I'm going to move on to the next thing. And this is very big for me. I love it. And that is the miracle of personal development. That's the third system I want to share with you. The miracle of personal development. Let me read something from my book, Wealth System. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Let me say that again. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. That's a quote by L. Schwab. There's somebody else called Jim Rohn, one very great man when it comes to personal development. He says income rarely exceeds personal development. Jim Rohn. Let me explain that a little. The income that you make in life will not exceed the level of your personal development. It's how you develop that determines, because see, you bring you to the job. It's you that you bring to the work. See, sometimes people want to professionally develop themselves and they abandon their personal development. But you see, the unfortunate thing is that when you develop yourself professionally and you don't develop yourself personally, the person you didn't develop will sabotage the profession you are trying to develop. That's what's going to happen. So you've got to be able to develop yourself. That's a way of adding value to yourself so that you can become more valuable. See, people become more valuable when they add value. Then you and I meet, you will not value me as much as you value me if when I come today, I give you something, and by the time you meet again, I'm giving you something bigger than what I gave you before. See, because you see, life begins with you, wealth begins with you. And if wealth really begins with you, that's because in the equation of your wealth, you are very important. In the equation of your wealth, only you can do what you can do. In the equation of your wealth, you need to understand who you are. Now, I like to share that whether for leadership, whether for wealth development, prosperity, whether for holiness, whatever it is that you are doing, it begins with you. You are number one in this system. Without you, there's no prosperous you. You can only prosper when you are there. You can only prosper when you are there as the person. So that's very important. Your income will rarely exceed your personal development. Why would one person be paid $2,000 while another person is paid $4,000 when they both work in the same place? It is determined by how well they have developed themselves. It takes a medical doctor 8 years to be able to get into medical practice. It takes someone else 4 years to start working. So you wonder why they pay the medical doctor more. He has spent more time. He has spent more time developing himself. But that is even professional development. When it comes to personal development, because that's where you begin to build relationship qualities. That's where you begin to understand the dynamics of communication, effective communication. And the truth is that the richest people will tell you that one of the greatest things that will help you in to succeed as a business person or as a career person is your ability to communicate and communicate effectively. Some people don't understand that everybody talks, only a few speak. Not everybody that can talk. I can speak. Everybody can talk, but only a few can speak. So you've got to be able to sharpen and develop yourself in speaking. That's one of the things that I did. I had to go and develop myself in speaking. And today, I help people to develop their speaking. I coach people in the area of speaking. I coach people in the area of communication. And in communication, I also understand that you don't communicate to everybody the same way. For example, there's what I do before I come into your space now. And there's what I'm doing even as I'm talking to you now. For example, it's not everybody that talks and stops and says, okay, let me ask you a question. Let's do this. There's a reason why I did what I did by asking you, okay, what problems did you find around you? You've got to be able to find a way of getting yourself personally developed. Value is what makes the difference. You become more valuable when you add more value to yourself. The key to wealth is to be more valuable, more valuable. Anything, everything on this planet, on the planet Earth, answers to the law of value. And what's the law of the law of value? The law of value talks about what you bring to the table. And don't tell me you are the table because you are not the table. You've got to bring something to the table. And what you bring to the table must get better and brighter and bigger the more you come. How do you do that? By developing yourself personally. The key to financial freedom is to have more than you've got, become more than you are. See, you've got to be changing because that's the way to grow. So I always say it begins with you. If it begins with you, what that means is that you need to know yourself. Awareness of self. A lot of people don't know themselves, and that's why they are not maximizing themselves in the marketplace. You need to be aware of yourself. And I'm talking about being aware of yourself intentionally. Again, this is something that I do. I have a system that is called the DISC Personality Test Index, which a test that you can do that tells you about yourself, how you communicate, how you relate to people, tells you about your strength, your weakness. It tells you about where you can be strong or where you should be strong. It tells you about where you can leverage yourself. It gives you like a handle to pivot yourself. And pivoting is a great way of getting yourself to do more than you are doing. A little thing that can bring you much more results simply because you're able to pivot. Growth is very important. You grow yourself. And when you grow yourself, you know yourself, the next thing is you grow yourself. You know yourself, then you grow yourself. And growing yourself is what we're talking about, personal development. What are the areas that needs to grow? In what area do you need to grow? And then you apply yourself correctly so that you're not wasting your energy. You're not doing things that you're not called for. You're not doing things that are not within your strength area. You're not giving your energy to your weakness. You're giving your energy to your strength. Many people give their energies to their weakness, and the more you attend to your weakness, the weaker you get. But when you attend to your strength, you grow stronger. What you do with your weakness is, once I notice my weakness, I starve my weakness. I starve it. I starve my weakness. I starve my traits. I starve, STAFF. In other words, I outsource my weak areas for somebody else to do for me. And I work more in the area of my strength. That's very, very critical. I think that is the third point. I think I'm going to stop at 5. So let me take 2 more and let's talk about 2 more. What are you going to do? Number 3, I think I should talk about is master your time. Wealth system demands that you master your time. So Henry Ford said, it has been my observation that most people get ahead during the time that others waste. Most people get ahead during the time that others waste. Right now, some people are sleeping, not because they have done so much for themselves, but simply because that's all they know to do. When you sleep for 8 hours per day, by the time you are 24 years old, you would have slept for 8 years. By the time you are 48 years old, you will have slept for 16 years. If you are 30 and you have slept for 8 hours every day, by the time you are 30, it means that you have slept for 10 years. It is good to sleep very well, but you've got to also be able to understand that your time is critical and your time is very, very special. How do you master your time? Because some people will teach you time management. I don't teach time management. And the reason is because what you can't control, you cannot manage. That's a flaw. When you try to manage something you cannot control, you will mismanage it. You can't control time because every morning they give you time and at the end of the day, it closes. Nobody is going to be able to save the time. You can't save it. There's no bank account for time saving. No bank account allows you to save time. You can't save time. What you can only do is that you can allocate your time appropriately. What will you do? What are you going to use 7 to 8 for? What will you use 8 to 9 for? What will you use 9 to 10 for? What are you going to use 11? You allocate your time appropriately. That's what you need to do. Understand the things that are most important in your life. Don't run with the things that are just urgent. Many of us run on the urgent. Don't run on the urgent. Run on the things that are important, the things that add more value to your life. There are 3 things that guide what I do when it comes to timing. I always ask myself, what is it that is required of me? If I go to work, what does my boss require of me? What is required of me? That's number 1. The second R is what gives me my greatest returns. What is it that produces my greatest results? What do I get results from? And then the other one is what gives me my he that tries to play El Shaddai, Shaddai. He that tries to play El Shaddai, Shaddai. So you've got to know where is the one that is my own? Why do I allocate my time? Allocate your time. Some people run on the things that are urgent for themselves. And when you do that, you'll be running like a fire brigade man. You'll be quenching fire, firefighter. You'll be fighting crisis all the time because that's how you run. But you've got to be able to find out what is important for your life and then give yourself to that thing. Set aside time to doing the things that are critical. For example, I would like to set aside time for my personal development. When I say people don't develop themselves, they say because I don't have time. It's not because you don't have time, it's because you've not allocated time to your personal development. You've not allocated time to doing the things that you need to do. We have time for anything. There's time for everything. It's just that we have not allocated time for those things. I think maybe I would take one more, if you allow me, and then I will be able to take some break, and maybe you want to ask me some questions or you want us to interact. And then, okay, let me take this one on connecting with people, networking, if you like, connecting with people. You heard this phrase that your network determines your net worth. It's very important that we learn how to build networks in these days and in this time. Networks are very important. I don't know how you got to find me, but I know that somebody chatted me on Instagram, and that's why I'm here now. It's a network. Somebody built that network, I engaged that network, somebody came on that network and found me on that network. And here we are because of a network that has been created somewhere. I probably would never have been here if that network was not created. In the same way, there are places you can't get to except you connect with the right kind of people. I want to emphasize the right kind of people that you connect with. To be a winner, you must associate with winners. That's what Dexter Yaga said, great man. To be a winner, you must associate with winners. Your accomplishments do not make you great in life. It's your friends, the people you network with. That's what makes you great. No matter how good you are, if people don't connect you to certain places, there are things you will never be able to get all by yourself. So people are very, very important. It's often said that those who walk with the wise, they shall be called wise. But those who are companions of fools, he said they will be destroyed. So who are your friends? It is your association that determines your orientation. And it is your orientation that determines your attitude. And your attitude is what ultimately determines your altitude, the height you get to in life. When you walk with the poor-minded, let me say, when you walk with the poor-minded, people that are poor in their mind, even if they have resources, they are poor. Even if they have money around them, they are still poor. If you work with the poor-minded, you will become poor. So who are the people that you are working with? When you work with those who are wealth conscious, who have a mentality for wealth, you become wealthy. Success will always leave clues. Success will always leave clues. So when you find people that succeed and you are working with them, it becomes easier, and your success becomes easier, guaranteed, when you are working with them. So you've got to connect with the right kind of people. Many times I tell people that it is necessary for many of us to actually do a phone audit. Check your phone and find out who are the people that are in this phone. What value have they added to me in the last 6 months? If they have not added value to you, and they are not likely going to add value to you in the next 6 months, why are you keeping them on your phone? Why are they occupying that space? Why are you allowing them to take that space in your life? I am where I am today by the grace of God, and by the grace that I have enjoyed with the people that I've connected with over time. Always looking to people that I can connect who can make a difference in my life. That's me. I'm always looking to people who I can connect with, who can make a difference in my life, people that I can learn from. So I like to connect with people that are above me, people that are my level, and people that are beneath my level. That's the way I roll with my life. And I've seen myself go places and get into places simply because I connected with people. Recently, I'm working with an organization, and that's one of the things that I do. I work with organizations to help their staff, help the organization so that they can build and they can grow. I'm working with an organization. How did I meet the owner of this organization? I mean, he's done very well. He has about 90 staff to himself. How did I meet him? I did a training somewhere, and his friend told him, or a friend of mine told him about that training, that he should come. And he came in there, he attended the training, he felt very good, and since then we have connected. I've coached him in speaking, I've helped him to develop communication, and he has called me again, come and help my staff and let's do this. All those things are they are paying me. And why is he paying me? Because there's a network. Your network will determine your network. So you need to understand that you need to build your network, and that has to do with relationship. You've got to find out, what are the kind of relations that I need in my life? What kind of relations do I need in my life now? You've got to find out, what do I need to do to build that relationship now? How can I connect with the kind of people that I want to connect with? So let me just close here. But before I go, I want to ask you a question. What kind of people do you think you need in your life now? Wow, amazing. What kind of people do you think you need in your life now? I want you to, maybe you want to chat, maybe you want to write, let's connect, let's talk. What kind of people, what kind of persons do you need in your life now? And if you are chatting, I'll be glad to see it. I'll be glad to look at it. I'm even looking at it now if you are chatting. But you might want to write it down. What kind of people do you need in your life now? Which kind of person do you need now to help you advance your cause? Which kind of person do you need now to build a relationship with? You never can tell, the person might even be here. Yeah, somebody says people that will add value to my life. Fantastic. So what kind of person? Maybe we should chat. Successful people. Great. I like what you are writing. But I will ask you a question again. But let's go, please. Others, can you chat? Oriented people. I don't know what you mean by oriented people, but that's okay. Maybe you are talking about success-oriented people, but Go ahead. Let's chat. You want to make that clear, Adam? Please, you want to make that clearer? That would be very good. Risk takers. That's great. Yeah. Who else? People that are doing the right thing at the right time. Fantastic. Rich-minded people. Wealth mentor. Good one there. If you want to create wealth, you need a wealth mentor. Yeah. Any other person chatting? Don't be afraid to chat. Chat, no problem. It's yours. If it's not good enough, I'll tell you, and then we can kick it on. That's why I'm here. Allow me to be your coach at this moment. Discipline, determined, and positive-minded people. Fantastic. Great one. Wealth motivators. Great one. Now, you know the kind of people that you need. The question I want to ask you next, before I ask you the last question, problem solver. The question I will ask you before I ask the next question is, can you mention 2 or 3 people that you know or that you have heard about who are this kind of people? Yeah, please chat me. Come on, just go ahead. Be not afraid. Chat me. Do you know anybody from what you have written now? Do you know anybody that is this kind of person? Or have you heard of somebody? Maybe you don't know the people, but you have heard of the person that is this kind of person. Can you write there? Can you chat me on that? Let me see. Okay, somebody says Sam Adeyemi, fantastic. Yeah. Who else? Stephen Akitayo. Go ahead. You are looking at that kind of person now. I want you to let's dig deep. Let's not just talk. Let's be able to get into it. Dangote, good one. Goal oriented. No, I like your goal oriented. Now we are going to the second question. Give me a person. Olumide Emmanuel, Bisi, Akande. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Give me a person. A person that you know. Sam Harvard. Give me a person. I want everyone to do this. Do this, please. Just follow me. Do what I say you should do. It will help you and to help me also. Dr. Oyedepo, fantastic. Now, my next question is, what truth? Your pastor has a name now. Somebody says my pastor. I don't like that. Please put your pastor's name there. Give us your pastor's name. Let's use his name. Forget about the fact that he's your pastor now. Give us his name so that we know that you are looking at somebody, because your pastor can change tomorrow. So give us a name. Okay, now the next question is, thank you, sir. The next question is, what 3 things can you do now to connect with those people? Now, let's think. What 3 things can you do now to connect to those people? Please go ahead. Chat me again. Come on. Chat me again. I know why I'm asking you to chat me. What you write, you invite. That's the way to get it done. What you write, you invite. What 3 things can you do now? What 3 things can you do? Somebody said online seminar. Go ahead. What 3 things? If you can't remember 3, if it's 1 you remember, go ahead. Right? If it's 2 you remember, go ahead. Get on their mentorship program. Awesome. Read their books, webinar. Locate them on Telegram, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Fantastic. Go ahead. Networking relationship. That networking, and that's what we're talking about. What will you do to network with them? Attend their seminar. I'm sure that's what you are saying for that. Attend their seminar. Go ahead. What 3 things can you do? Remember, we are talking about the person. Some of them don't have seminars, so you know. Some of them don't have a mentoring group, you know. Some of them may not be on Telegram. So focus on the person. Read their books. Fantastic. So go ahead. Focus on the person that you say you need in your life. That person you need in your life. So what can you do for you to enter their corner, to be in their corner, to have them in your corner? What can you do? Read their success stories. Fantastic. Now, my last question. Sorry, I'm asking you so many questions. Please permit me. My last question. Yeah, somebody say help them. Good idea. My last question. Are you ready for my last question? Are you ready? If you are ready for my last question, please say yes. Type yes. If you are ready for my last question, type yes. Thank you, Adebayo. Good. Let me see your yes. Are you ready for my last question? Just type yes. Okay, somebody say you can't hear me. Tosin, you should be able to hear me now. Check your side. So they are all hearing me. Type yes. If you are ready for my last question, type yes. Come on, somebody. I'm releasing my last question now. It's going. Where's your yes? I need your yes to set my last question rolling. All right. My last question is, when will you do it? That's my last question. When will you do it? When will you do it? Somebody says now. Good. When will you do it? Some people have not decided. When will you do it? Please put a time. Starting now. Good one. Put that now. That's good. I will do it now. I like that. Fantastic. You have my round of applause. You have my thumbs up. So please go ahead and do exactly what you said. Begin to build a network. I've shared 5 things with you. I've spoken to you about understanding the true source. I've spoken to you about you being a problem solver, how you can take charge of your time and use your time positively. I've spoken to you about the principle of networking. So please Get to work and let's see how we do this. I believe in you and I know that you can create wealth. Please, you can connect with me. My name is Bisi Akande. Find me on all social media handles at Real Bisi Akande, especially on Instagram and LinkedIn. I'm stronger in those places. And you can join my community. If you do want to join my community, reach out to me and I will send you details on how we can join, team up, get into a community together. Allow me to hold your hands if you like, so that we can create wealth together. This world needs you to create wealth. People around you need you to create wealth. Don't be shy about it. Go ahead and create wealth. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Wow. And we all appreciate Pastor Bisi Akande. Please, on the chat box, drop a chat and appreciate him. Say thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir. Come on, let's go. Appreciate Pastor Bisi Akande. Sir, before you go off, I know that you are a very busy man, and I want to plead if you can give us a few moments, if we can ask questions so that you can provide some answers to them. So please, if anyone have question, kindly go ahead and ask right now. Is either you unmute your mic so that you can ask verbatim or you drop on the chat box. So please, it's waiting for us. If you have a question, kindly do that now. Anyone? If you have a question, drop on the chat box now. All right, so someone is asking, how can you start a business with a little capital? This coming from Mr. Tosin Peter. Another person is asking, why do people see money as the first challenge to create wealth?
Okay, let me ask. In fact, you can see that the two questions are almost tying together. Somebody says, why do you see money as the first challenge to create wealth? Somebody says, how can I start business with a little capital? The thing is that if your capital is little, what kind of business do you want to start? That's what you want to ask yourself. See, you've got to appreciate the little that you have, first of all. Appreciate that little, and then begin to look at what business can I start? What can you start doing now? That's the question. What can you start doing now? Well, you see, you have to begin to, we are growth people, we grow. From childbirth, we are born and then we grow. So if you have little capital, then start small. The problem is most people start small and then they stay small, but don't start small, but don't stay small. So whatever the capital you have, once you want to start, get started. Find out the business. How can you generate more capital? Find out, sit down, ask yourself. Sometimes you might need a wealth mentor, a wealth coach, or a money coach that can help you, or a business coach that can help you. How do you generate income? There are several systems you can use to generate income. If you have little capital, then you can really, okay, how can I grow my capital so that I can start my business? That's as much as I think I can answer in that regard right now. But if you get into me, you can see how we can do this. We can talk probably more on that. Now, why do people see money as the first? Why do people see money as the first challenge to create wealth? It's a mindset. It's a mindset. The truth is that it's a mindset. And then, there's a saying that says, sorry for, those of you who are not Yoruba, please permit me. Then they say, it's money that we used to look for money. That's not necessarily true. We just believe it. Sometimes you don't need money to look for money. You have introduced me as pastor, so if you go for me to do money, yes, I'm a pastor, but remove the pastor there. I'm Bisi Akande. I'm the founding part of Leap Consult. I started Leap Consult without any money. I didn't have money. And the first business that Leap Consult did without money, we generated an income of 1.8 million. The second time we generated an income of 1.5 million. Today, every year, we generate income even in dollars. And we didn't start that business with any money. We didn't have money to start the business. We didn't need money to start the business. Let me say it that way, because the business didn't really need the capital. So don't think that every business must start with capital and then it's the mindset thing. Remove that mindset. What you need to start a business is not money. What you need to start a business is an idea that is workable. Because the idea can generate the income. If it is a strong enough idea that you are able to communicate very well, somebody can finance it. Don't forget those two things. That's why I say people should build their communication skills. If you get an idea that you can communicate effectively, somebody can do it. So first things first, get an idea. What problem are you willing to solve? That's important. So what can I do with failing of business with 2 years of experience? Okay, your business is failing. Do you have a business coach? That's my question for you. Do you understand business building metrics? Have you been able to? Many times people say they are business. We don't have business, too many business people around us. What we have is traders. A lot of people are traders and they call themselves business people. So I don't know about you. I'm not talking about you now. I'm saying, do you have a business coach in your life? Do you have a coach in your life? That's somebody that is helping you with this. Because this, I'm not selling the coaching business. I'm only telling you that you do better with a coach. Even the best footballers, I don't know how many of you like football, but look at the best footballer, they still require a coach. If the best footballer that you clap for require a coach, you too need a coach for whatever you're doing with your life or through your life. That's important. So get a business development person who will help you out with your business and get you to help develop your business. What do you do when one is not getting exactly what one wants? What do you want? That's my first question. What do you want? You got to know what you want and interrogate what. There's a program I run. I've not done it in a while, but it's a program I'm thinking of running early next year, maybe, or before the year ends. And that is put your dream to the test. Because sometimes people will say this is what I want, and you find out that's not. That program is all encompassing. It's a program that helps you to test it to show that, okay, this is what I want, and then tells you how you can go about it. So the first question will be, what do you want? The second question is, are you responsible? Are you taking ownership? But a lot of times again, when we don't get what we want, it's because we are not taking ownership. We are probably relying on somebody else. I talked to us about the two source today. We are looking at somebody else, and then we are saying, oh, we are not getting it because we are looking at somebody else rather than looking at where we are supposed to be. Are you taking responsibility, or are you handing over responsibility to somebody else? If you are not getting what you want, then that might just be one thing that you need to look at. And of course, Sir, Mr. Abiodun, if you connect with me, maybe we can chat more later on this. Like I said, to send me a message, DM on Instagram, I would be able to probably shed some more light there because time will not permit us here. Is your book available in soft copy? And is there any way we can get it via mail? This particular book that I spoke about is not yet available in soft copy, but I have a couple of other books in soft copy. I would send you that one. That's a leadership book that I did. I'll send it to our leader here, and I'm sure he will share with us. This other one is not in soft copy right now. I'm working on getting it in soft copy soon, because so many things have not allowed me to do that. So I would send that to us. What can I do to be business no matter the downfall? What can I do to be? I don't understand this question, sir. Honestly, don't understand this question by Adebayo. How can I get people to join me in growing my business? How can I get people to join me in growing my business? Number one, what's your business? Number two, who are the people that you need in your business? Number three, I'm asking you direct questions. Now, number three, how are you communicating your business idea to them? How are you communicating? Because people galvanize around vision. Vision is critical. You must be able to catch a vision, cast a vision, and you must be able to communicate the vision very effectively. That's very important. That's what you need. You can get people to join you in growing your business when you catch the vision, you cast the vision, you communicate that vision effectively. You need it because people will not run. Nobody lies behind something that they don't understand. When the vision is strong, they'll follow through. Can any business succeed without a business plan? I don't think I agree. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You need a business plan. The business plan must be flexible, which means that it can be changed. You can tweak it, but you must have a business plan. So you need to find somebody who understands what it means to design a business plan and design one for yourself. Wealth is being created, not inherited. Riches can be inherited, but you can. Okay, you're trying to quote one of the things I said. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I hope that I've been able to add.
I think she was at the latter part of what she wrote. She's asking what is the difference between being rich and being wealthy.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't get that. Now, being rich is when you have resources. Being wealthy is actually a mindset thing. It's a mindset thing. It's wealth that creates it. Wealth brings riches. A wealthy mindset is different from a rich mindset. Rich is when you have it. Check the dictionary, you find out. Rich is when you have it. Wealth is when you have the mindset, and wealth is when you are creating it. You're not just having it, you're creating it. And wealth has a lot to do with your mindset and the way your mind works. I always tell people that you are not, the money you have is not the money you have. The money you have is actually the money you can attract within a short notice. For example, some people will need $10,000, I mean 10,000 naira, 10,000 naira, and they cannot find one person to give you 10,000 naira. They can't find it. That's real poverty. But some people will need 1 million naira, and they have 10 people right now that they can call and say, oh, Eren, give me 100,000, and those will wire the money to you. That's rich. You don't have to have the money in your account, but you can call people, and right now they can send the money. That's rich. But if you that and that's why Jambu will have trouble and nobody will attend to it. I mean, unfortunate, but you heard about people that were kidnapped, 100 million, and people raise the 100 million. Some people will never come out of that place because they don't have that kind of network. One person was part of them, and I learned that one person generated 25 million from her group, from the people that she knows. She generated 25 million. So wealth is when you have that ability to attract income very fast. That ability. And that's why I spoke about network. You must have people in your network that can generate certain amount of income for you at any point in time. If you don't have a friend that you can call that can drop $1 million naira if there's a need, sir, you need to work on yourself more. You need more people around you. And if all the people that you have around you are collecting from you, sir, you're in trouble. You're in serious trouble. I pity you. I pity you. Don't be clapping for yourself. If every member of your family, they come to you, everybody is collecting from you. Don't clap for yourself. You're in trouble, real trouble. You need to save yourself from that embarrassment that is coming. Because if anything happens and you are not in the place to give anybody, nobody will give you. And you'll be wondering what's happening to me. So you need to change the dynamics of people around you. My mentor told me that you are always at the top of the class. You're in the wrong class. If you are always at the top of the class, you're in the wrong class. So if you're always in the class where everybody is clapping for you, you're in the wrong class. Go to a class where you need to clap for others. So I always deliberately put myself in a class where I will see people that are bigger, better, and brighter than me. And then I will be cowed by whatever they are doing. I say, these guys, you are doing massive things, so I can begin to grow. But if you are waiting and you get there and everybody just clap, Akande, you are the best thing that ever happened to us, sir. You are coming down very soon. Because anyone that is not being inspired is expiring. That's why they call me the inspirer. Trust me.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. If you have been blessed.
I was going to do 20 minutes, but you caught me and I did 1 hour. You see, I've almost done 1 hour.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. If you have been blessed by Pastor Bisi Akande, please put on the chat box, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Let's go. Put on the chat box, I'm blessed. Let's appreciate him. Let's appreciate him. Yes, I'm blessed from Mr. Adebayo. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Put on the chat box, I'm blessed from Mr. Adeleke. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Everyone. Mr. George, I'm blessed. Everyone is saying they are blessed. Thank you so much, sir. It's a very great honor to have you among us. And we want to say God bless you. You have really touched us. And now we can now move closer from where we are to where we want to be. So thank you so much. And God bless you, sir. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. So I believe that you can allow me to take a bow. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Bye for now.
Goodbye, sir. Wow. Wow. So how do you see this section, guys? So I want your feedback.
So super. So super.
Fantastic. That's coming from Success. Mrs. Fale, wonderful. Mr. Adam, so excited to be here. I told you last week. God bless you for joining. Awesome, awesome. So thank you, everyone. This is a very great time. You know, we started this Wealth Hangout since 2020, and now this is 2022. I want to assure you that all these things that you have been hearing, if you can, even if you cannot do everything, each hangout, just pick something and work on it. He has talked about networking this night. Change your cycle. We always say this, change your cycle. Check your phone often. Who are those people that are not adding value to me? Delete their number. Move far away from them. Challenge yourself. Move close to people that can challenge you. So this is very, very informative. That's coming from Mr. Deleke. So thank you so much. I want us to go to the WhatsApp group. Let's drop how the section went there so that people who did not come here, we know that they really miss so much. Someone said this is rich Hangout. Yes. Yes. So thank you, everyone. God bless you for joining, and please make use of what you have learned tonight. There is reward for taking action. Take action, regards to your family, and stay blessed. Good night, everyone.